Delicious blueberry muffins made with fresh milled flour. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. For this recipe, I am milling 360 grams of soft white wheat. As with all muffins or cookies, you use a soft wheat. This is the perfect recipe for baking with kids. I asked my granddaughter what she wanted for breakfast in the morning, and she said blueberry muffins. So that's why we decided to make these. So the night before, we milled the wheat, which she loves to do. In the morning, we were able to make the muffins. We did that just so anybody that was sleeping, since she gets up so early, didn't have to listen to our loud mill. To slow down nutrition loss, we put the flour in the freezer and pulled it out in the morning. Alright, so you see I have a large bowl here. I'm doing everything by hand today. 3 cups or 360 grams of soft white wheat. And my granddaughter's helping me put everything into the bowl. This is a great way to get kids involved even when they're young. And I feel pretty lucky because it actually made it into the bowl. Alright, to our flour, we're going to add some sugar. I used cane sugar, 1.5 cups or 297 grams. You could use a regular white sugar if that's what you have. We need 4 teaspoons or 18 grams of baking powder. Now we need so much baking powder because wheat is very heavy. And so we need something that's going to make it rise up very well. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using Redmond's real salt, but any kind of salt will work. She kept sticking her fingers in there. She wanted to taste the sugar. 1/4 teaspoon or 1 gram of cinnamon. That's optional, but I did find it really pleasant in the muffins. And you're going to whisk well. Now she insisted on doing this, and I was picturing the flour going everywhere. But overall, she did a pretty good job. Sometimes we learn best by making mistakes and getting flour everywhere, but today it worked out wonderfully and everything stayed in the bowl. We didn't mix real fast, but we did mix. Anyway, that's my hand kind of doing a quick whisk, trying to make sure that we have everything. So then I'm going to set my dry ingredients off to the side. I'm going to need a second bowl, and we're going to get our wet ingredients ready. Now, as with anything else, when you are baking or cooking, you would like your ingredients to be room temperature. So we're going to start by 2 room temperature eggs. And if you don't have room temperature eggs, place them in a bowl of some warm water, and within a few minutes they will be room temperature. You're going to whisk these well, and you want to get them completely blended before you add the remaining ingredients. And I know it seems like a long time to whisk them, but you want to get them completely incorporated with one another. I found this cool whisk. It folds flat, so it fits in my drawer perfectly. There are 4 reasons we're going to beat the eggs thoroughly. Our first reason is it's going to add strength to our proteins that are inside the eggs. It's going to help with emulsification, so when we add the oil, it mixes well. It's going to add volume to our baked goods, and it's going to distribute the moisture more evenly. 3/4 cup or 177 grams of buttermilk. And if you don't have buttermilk, go ahead and use that trick where you use 3/4 cup of milk and add 1 teaspoon of white vinegar and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and you will have something similar to buttermilk that can be used in baking. Mix that in. And remember, wet ingredients are going to be combined with your dry ingredients later on, so you want them stirred as thoroughly as possible. A tablespoon or 13 grams of vanilla extract. At this point, my granddaughter had lost interest, so she didn't help me with the wet ingredients at all. A 1/2 cup of a neutral oil or 118 grams. I used avocado oil, but any neutral oil would work. When measuring liquids, use a clear glass liquid measuring cup. And then just get that blended well. Because we beat the egg so well, the oil should mix in quite easily. That's that emulsification. Muffins are a great treat and they freeze phenomenally, so you can pull them out, let them defrost, and eat them for breakfast throughout the week. I personally like to use them as my dessert in the evening. Now it's time to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Get it all in there. And I used a whisk, but I probably could have just used the spatula because this is quite a thick batter. The recipe makes a thicker than usual muffin batter, but that's going to help these rise really well. As with all quick breads and muffins, you need to be sure you do not overmix. It will start to get tough and your baked goods won't be as light and fluffy. Once you can no longer see flour, you're done mixing. So I'm just using my spatula here to get to the bottom of the bowl, and I'm folding over and making sure I've gotten all the flour incorporated. We need a total of 2 cups of blueberries. They can be fresh or frozen, 320 grams. I'm using frozen blueberries here, and keep some of them out to put on the top of the muffins at the end. I'm just folding them in. I'm not trying to mix the batter. I'm just trying to grab the batter from the bottom and bring it up over the top gently. Remember, I don't want to have too much of the proteins inside the flour starting to combine, or it'll feel more like bread instead of a muffin. I'll let this batter sit for 15 minutes. So I went ahead and preheated my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. And then I'm getting my muffin pans ready after the 15 minutes is up. And I'm putting them in every other spot. The recipe calls for you to do this. And it also says to fill the muffin cups almost completely to the top. And with normal muffins, you only fill them about halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way. But these you want to fill almost to the complete top. And these are going to make those huge bakery-style muffins. These would be great served at one of the spring holiday events or throughout the summer. And overall, it made exactly 12 muffins. Once again, skipping every other spot. And these are going to get baked for 7 minutes at that 425 degrees, which is very hot for a muffin. And then you're going to turn the temperature down to 350 degrees, baking the muffins for an additional 22 to 25 minutes. And that is going to allow the muffins to rise very quickly, and then when we turn the temperature down without opening up the oven, it's going to continue to bake. I topped it with a little bit of sugar, that thicker sugar used for cookies. This is the same thing our local bakery does to the top of all of their muffins, and it gave it a really nice crunch. Warm muffins from the oven make anybody's day better. These are 12 deliciously oversized muffins. They feel a little bit on the decadent side because they are so nice and thick. And look at the tops of those muffins. These rose so well, and that's because you put them in that hotter oven for a short period of time. No one will know that these are made from whole wheat, but the nutrition amounts go way up when using fresh milled flour. I can only imagine that if you packed these in somebody's lunch, they would be thrilled. Thank you for joining me at White Shadow Fair, and I hope you give these a try.